Hey there, everybody. It is July 8th, 2025, and it's time for Off the Ledge. I am your host, Annette Dion, on a journey to keep the collective consciousness high vibe and in faith and trust that love is the most powerful force in the entire universe. It comes in many forms, and we're talking about universal love. So it's been a tough several days. And we hear from all the astrology reports that we have come across that we are in times that humanity has never seen before astrologically. So what's that going to mean for you and I? Something to think about. In the face of hard truths, real truth, staring us in the face, like global climate change, just to name one, which is basically the only one, because it poses an existential threat to our existence. In the face of all this, the amount of gaslighting is amped up to the max. And so it's really pretty upsetting to people that are thinking people when we are in crisis and there's gaslighting going on. So that it's kind of interesting because it's hard for all of us to have a conversation with somebody who's been totally gaslit. Let me move this up. My marketing person wants me to show my psychicenergyon.com. And I think that's, when you see clips from Fox and I just saw that Benny Johnson dude, a clip of him walking through alligator Alcatraz and bragging about the Alcatraz hat that he had on, and it's just like the measure of indecency, the measure of selling out, because the Kremlin pays him something like $10,000 a month or something crazy like that to just spew Russian propaganda. So I'm starting to think that sanity is in scarce supply nowadays. But the truth always prevails, the actual truth always prevails, and the actual truth always wins the day. We have a lot of work to do to get more people on board, but in a really macabre way, the universe is helping to get more people on board, because when your survival is at stake and people around you are dying, like what's happening in Texas, where fair warning that we used to have could have made a huge difference. In the face of that, the universe is turning people's minds around that were gaslit and under cult mind control to the reality. I had this thought this morning that, speaking of reality and the preponderance of reality TV since the 90s, I think it would be a good pitch a reality show called Sane People. Let me know what you think of that in the comments. A reality show called Normal People, or Normal Sane People. The NSP show. Because we really need more sanity. We do. And we need to get our brains working again, because so much of the country has been brainwashed. Okay. Let's see. And I'm just going to say it. This is what happened in Nazi Germany. Hitler mind controlled the masses. And Ernest Holmes lived during World War II, or World War I, and still kept the anchor in his life to be Source and God. I never read these ahead of time, but it's just so appropriate. I speak the truth of God is the title. And Ernest starts with this from the book of Proverbs. He that speaketh truth sheweth forth righteousness. The lip of truth shall be established forever. So I just want to mention here that it's a trick of the demonic to have something like Truth Social be a thing when it's lies. It's all lies. We all wish to speak the truth, but have we realized that every time we make a claim about ourselves that is different from the claim we would make about God, we are falling into the error of denying the divine presence in our experience? God is truth, and truth is God. We also are included in this divine and perfect unity. Therefore, every claim we make about God, the living Spirit, should equally be made about ourselves, because we live and move and have our being in this infinite truth or presence. To say that we are poor or sick or weak or unhappy is to deny God. God is not poor. God is not sick. God is not weak. God is not unhappy. We must then make every endeavor in simplicity and in truth to identify our personal lives with that one life that forevermore proclaims, I am that I am. There is nothing separate from this one I am. So what I'd like to say about all that we're going through is we're going through it. We're not staying here. We're not staying in the gaslighting insanity world. We're going through it. There will be a time, and we're in it right now, of great choosing. And the choosing happens when we're faced with which path leads to the best outcome and the greatest healing. When the news gets to be too much, as it is, it is too much. When it gets to be too much, I should say, for your psyche to handle, really good idea to go sit by a body of water, even if it's a swimming pool, even if it's one of those little kiddie pools. So just sit by a body of water and to take some really deep breaths and affirm that all is well, and know that it's really important to do self-care and make that a priority. I want to mention too that I've been getting recent guidance, and I've mentioned it the past few videos, to go back and review what I learned in the 1990s in terms of spiritual teachings and listening to speakers and reading their books, and you can find all this on YouTube. And I'm really being pulled to Louise Hay, to the work of Louise Hay, and I instructed a lot of you to go and watch the movie that was made based on her book, You Can Heal Your Life. I'm going to starting today, a 5-day series of 20 minutes each, talks about how to be peaceful in times that are very unstable, how to keep our peace. I am not talking about numbing out and not feeling your feelings. I'm actually talking about being in, maybe being really, really upset about something, but also being peaceful at the same time. I know it might seem like a paradox and a contradiction, but it isn't. It's possible. It's just the same as you can be relaxed and alert. You can be very, very calm and still have your edge. Think about like a baseball player in a Major League Baseball game, bottom of the ninth, the score is tied, it's the World Series. That pitcher on the mound surely better be relaxed, but extremely intense. Okay, let's listen to Kathy Beal for today. And if you'd like to book a session with me, go to psychicannetdion.com. I do a lot of things that a lot of people don't know about that are great for transformation. Here we go.
This is Kathy Beal of EmpowermentUnlimited.net with Astro Insight for July 8, 2025. The day promises to be boisterous, possibly even all over the place, Lots of talk, lots of thinking, lots of exchanging ideas, lots of chatter that actually in the long run isn't going to amount to much. Pick up bits of information and put them aside, save them somewhere where you can come back to them and examine them more fully later when you have the attention for it. Try to do something light and fun today. That's all for now.
That would make sense because the moon is in Sagittarius. Light and fun. Not that other signs aren't fun. Some signs have a hard time. Harder time than others having fun. Okay, let's pick 3 cards. Today is Tuesday, so the only other thing that I'll be doing today on YouTube is I'll do a pop-up. A PNN pop-up. It's a beautiful beach day, so I'll probably be at the beach when I do that. I'll find a little spot at the beach. Continue to intend and pray and, give what you can. I mentioned on Sunday to give blood if you are able. I understand a lot of people aren't physically able to give blood, but there's a blood drive here. I go every 4 months or so they're in dire need, especially if you have like a universal blood type, like O negative. It makes you feel good. It really is very healing to do something for somebody else selflessly. Maybe that somebody else will never know about it. Okay, 3 cards. Focus on the love. The guides are saying focus on the love. Focus on the love. So the series that I'm going to do for my members starting today, and I'll pre-record the videos and upload them, have to do with Louise Hay's work and how to be peaceful. I just want to add that I'm going to add Louise Hay's work into this. So the stress can be alleviated by trusting in the higher power. And the Lover card is coming up, and the Lover card keeps coming up lately. It came up last night at PNN when I was reading on the collective, and it's coming up again. These times that are so hard, when hatred is boiling over, hatred and divisiveness and misogyny and racism and all that, when it's all like, it's just like, wow, how much more do they have of that hatred stuff? It's vile. It pushes us to love. It's not the way we want to get there, but it really, it makes it that love is the only place to go. And I'm not talking about romantic love, I'm talking about universal love for humanity. We all have that. The normal, sane people all have that. Let's start a reality show. Normal, sane people. I'll see you really soon, and please share my videos if they're helpful to you. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and just chill out and be in a calm meditative state. It helps the collective. All right, see you soon. Namaste.